Hey everyone, okay, so just back from the gym, so I'm sweaty and horrible, so I apologise. There's been a resurgence in comments on the tretinoin video. The amount of misunderstanding on that video just blows my mind, it really does. Because I thought that I was being incredibly succinct in my point, which was that if you're doing Botox, lasers, fillers, IPL, peels, whatever it is, and doing before and after pictures, but saying that tretinoin is the ingredient that's responsible for those pictures, that is fundamentally not true. And I stand by that. I never once said that tretinoin wasn't a great ingredient, an incredible ingredient, a beneficial ingredient, that it didn't work. It does work. It's amazing. I use it and have used it for over a decade. It's a great ingredient. But if you're doing all those things I mentioned, lasers, Botox, fillers, you cannot claim that the ingredient tretinoin is responsible for your before and after pictures, because Botox can erase wrinkles on the face way better than tretinoin can. Lasers, fillers, all those things, a knife, all of them can do way more than tretinoin. But that doesn't mean that tretinoin isn't a great ingredient. There are thousands of studies done on this ingredient that proves it is an incredible anti-aging ingredient. It is still the gold seal, holy grail of anti-aging ingredients. It's amazing. I love it. I use it. But don't mislead in the videos by showing before and after pictures when you're doing all this other stuff. At least say, I've done all this other stuff. That would be more honest, but it gives the illusion that you too can completely erase everything on your face, that it will become completely immobile, and that's from the ingredient tretinoin, and that's not true. It is not true. That it can suddenly fill out all the hollows under your eyes, erase all your eye bags. That is not true. It's not true. And that's all the video was about. Not about the ingredient, which is great. It was about the dishonesty when it comes to admitting the other things we're doing. The other thing that was so annoying about the video, and I should have known because inherently people want to play the guessing game, and I should have inherently known. When I was doing the video, I was very specific in not mentioning any of the people's videos that I had watched. And there's a reason for that. There was no need to. I didn't want to. I don't inherently want to be unpleasant to anyone. That's why I was quite vague and didn't want to mention anyone. But people play the guessing game and they start writing names in the comment section. Now, who does that in real life? Who does that in real life? Who wants to be unpleasant in real life? No one. It's a very small percentage of people that do that. And it's not nice. Please don't do that. It's not nice. This poor girl called Jennifer got roped into this situation. Now, Jennifer, I actually have seen some of her videos. She wasn't the one I was talking about. There was a plethora of videos that I had watched. She wasn't one of them. It wasn't her. End of. It's that simple. I mean, this poor girl, I kept seeing this name Jennifer coming up in the comments, and I was deleting it and deleting all the comments as well, not just hers, of anyone that was naming them, because I didn't name them. So please don't. You don't know who I was speaking about. That would call for the operation of my mind, which you don't have. Only I have that. There's lots of videos I've seen where people are referring to somebody and I'm like, oh, I know who that is. But I don't type it down because what if I'm wrong? It ropes in people that needn't be there. It just, the whole video floored me. It was such a succinct video. It was an accurate video on what tretinoin can and cannot do. And it can do wonderful things. But it is not that saving grace that some YouTubers make it out to be when they're showing before and after pictures. It was that simple. It was just, it didn't require all of this nonsense in the comment section that came with it. I also think that we as humans view ourselves sometimes quite differently to how others perhaps perceive us. And bear in mind that most people, apart from the guessing people, most people are inherently kind. So it's quite rare that somebody will walk up to you and go, God, you look old. You look look so old, you look older than your age. No one does that. We are kind people. People are kind and they will say, God, you look great. You do not look your age. You look amazing. And they may mean it. They may not. They may be being kind. But I don't think we sometimes as humans view ourselves as accurately. I find myself sometimes talking when I'm in the barbers to some of the other people that work there. And I'm old enough to be their father, some of them, but I'm speaking to them as if I'm their age. And I forget, hang on, I'm 46 and this is a 20-year-old that I'm speaking to. You know, I forget my own age sometimes when I'm speaking to them. Here's another little tidbit of joy, just to give you an indication, because the whole video, or the whole comment section was about wrinkles. I'll give you a little example here. Scott Eastwood, beautiful looking man. I think it is Scott Eastwood, Clint Eastwood's son. Scott Eastwood, I think it's him. Hope it's him. Yes, it's him. Anyway, great looking guy. He has more visible permanent wrinkles on his face than I do. But he still looks younger than me. I know, it's the weirdest thing. Even though he has more visible wrinkles, he still looks younger than I do. And there's an 8-year age gap between the pair of us. I mean, obviously he's a much more beautiful human than me, but he has more wrinkles, yet I look older. Why is that? Because we're so focused on wrinkles that we are forgetting all the other things that cause us to age. Muscle loss, bone loss, fat loss, density, collagen, sun damage, sagging of the skin, hormonal loss. The list is endless. And all those things contribute to us aging. I don't know about you, but, and I mean this incredibly respectfully, and I truly do. In 20 years of doing makeup and all things pretty, I have yet to meet anyone that I truly thought looked a decade younger than their age. And I truly mean that. And I don't mean it to sound horrible, but I just think I view people realistically. When we go through beauty, if you see a beauty magazine or we see celebrities and say they're in their 50s, right? Not a wrinkle on their face. I look at them and I think, you look about 50. Even though they don't have a single wrinkle, because it's more than just the wrinkles, it's everything combined. I know a few lovely women in their 50s who truly have had a myriad of things done to them, not a single line on their face, who still look exactly their own age. Because it's not just the wrinkle, we're chasing the wrinkle. Years and years ago, I saw a demonstration of a dermatologist, and he had a picture of a woman who was lined, and they erased all the wrinkles on this woman's face with Photoshop live to demonstrate. And the woman didn't look any younger. Different, but not younger. Then they did the weirdest thing. They then airbrushed out all the skin damage, the sun damage, all of that stuff, the uneven skin tone. Then she looked younger. But they didn't touch the wrinkles. They left the wrinkles in, but removed all the irregularities on the skin. We as a generation are so focused on the wrinkle that we can forget everything else that causes us to age. There we go. I shall not comment on it again. I shall not. It's just, I don't know, maybe it's just me and human race, but I always think that I'm quite clear with my message. And when it's so taken in a way that was not intended, I find it incredibly irritating, and I shouldn't perhaps, because I've been on here long enough, but I do find it irritating because I'm quite clear with what the message was, that it wasn't about that tretinoin is a terrible ingredient and it's shit and it doesn't work. It has nothing to do with that. It's a great ingredient. It works brilliantly if you can tolerate it, and not everybody can. And there'll be a plethora of people in comments saying everyone can no, they can't. Not everybody can tolerate that ingredient, no matter how hard they try. It is a very irritating ingredient, and even at the lowest concentrations, it can cause major problems for some people. Not everything works for everyone. Okay, that's it. So here's the takeaway lessons. Tretinoin is good. Botox, lasers, fillers, all that, great. But if you're doing it all and saying it's one thing, that's naughty, in my opinion. And also, let's not play the guessing game. If I wanted to name people, I would. So please don't guess them, because it's unpleasant for the people concerned, especially if it wasn't even them I had in mind. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your time. And I hope you all had a nice time learning from me today. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for bearing with me. Thank you for not guessing. And thank you for being lovely, kind human beings. Bye.